Good morning, and welcome back to AstroBeauty, where makeup and astrology come together to make life glorious. In today's version of Beauty by the Stars, I want to pay reference to our new moon in Virgo, which is happening on Friday, which is tomorrow from when I'm filming this right now. And so, with the moon in Virgo, the sun in Virgo, Mercury, Mars, and Venus in Virgo, I thought it would be a nice time to try out a Virgo look. And so that's what I'm going to do for today. I'm going to put together a little Virgo look that is inspired by the energies of Virgo. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the new moon, about sign of Virgo, and about how people with specifically ascendant, but a lot of planets in Virgo might be dealing with uh, this upcoming month, because the new moon energy, when it happens, it really kind of sets the tone for the unfolding of the whole month. The frequencies that are in effect when the new moon happens kind of are like the undertone currents for the whole month as the other energies progress and unfold. And so by paying attention to the energies of the new moon, we kind of can get an idea of what is coming our way for the next 30 days. And this month, this time of the year, every year at this time, it is going to be the new moon in Virgo cycle and the energies associated with that. And so I guess let's just get into it. So today we have a new moon in Virgo that's coming up. And here at Astro Beauty, my whole thing is matching my makeup, my looks for the day to whatever the energetic signal, energetic electromagnetic frequency vibes are that are coming to our planet and manifesting things on Earth. And so, keeping that in mind, since it's such a Virgo day, I kind of want to talk about the Virgo itself, the Virgo energies, what we can kind of expect in terms of things and like vibes that are going to be out there through this next coming month while we have the new moon in Virgo in effect, and also the other strong Virgo energies. And I'm going to create my little makeup look to carry me through the day and to help keep me grounded in my Virgo-ness so that I can kind of be a part of the energies that are going on right now, kind of like pay reverence to them, and hopefully get the most out of these times that we're in. So let's get started. Since it's Virgo, Virgo's an earth sign, and it's ruled by, well, traditionally, it's ruled by the planet Mercury, which also rules Gemini. Mercury is a co-ruler of Gemini and Virgo. And because it's an earth sign and it's traditionally thought of, it comes at the end of the summer. It's kind of associated with like the harvest, kind of associated, it's because of earth, it's kind of associated with, money. It's a feminine sign. It's kind of like, to me, Virgo is about like refinement. It's about like the fine things, like creating like a precision and trying to bring things to their highest level of development, to their best form of themselves. And form, because it's an earth sign, and earth creates form. So those are just like the general Virgo vibes that I get. And when Virgo time comes around, I like to wear like golds, like kind of like darker, like earthy toned greens, browns, and stuff like that. Just kind of like harvest colors, kind of like um, money colors, things with gold. Yes, that's kind of like what I think of when I think of Virgo, but also not like very refined and very kind of modest and put together and polished, like Virgo's not like blah, like big bold colors, like ooh look at me, like big hair all over the place. Like no. Virgo is like, I mean, my hair is wet right now and not done, but Virgo's like minimal and natural, but beautiful and refined and perfect and polished, and every hair in place, but every curl just like beautiful. And so I also kind of like to dress a little nicer when the moon is in Virgo, kind of put myself together a little more, feel a little more like ladylike and polished. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do for this look. It's not going to be like really big and like I said, like big, bold, like super glam. I'm going to kind of keep it toned down a little bit. I'm going to use earth tones, of course. I'm going to use some browns and some golds and a few different tones of the browns. And maybe like a little bit of a liner and just some nice lashes. And I'm not going to go too like bold on the blush or anything like that. So I've already done my face makeup and my brows. And I've primed my eyes. And now I'm just going to go in with my eye look. And then I'm going to do my under eye concealer, slap on a blush and a highlight. And that will be that. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk about astrology. So here we go. For today, the shades that I have chosen to use, all right, first, I am just going to like completely cover my eye with this shade out of this Laura Geller Iconic New York Collection palette. This one right here. It's just like a foundation color, but I use it, it's matte, and I love using it as a base color because it's, you know, like just like a natural color, but it just lays down really nice. I actually really like this Laura Geller palette. So let's talk about the new moon in general and kind of like what that is. So the new moon happens once a month, and it's when the sun and the moon come to the same degree, and the moon begins its reappearance and period of growing into the sky. And every month, the degree that happens at is kind of like the energetic frequency point and the kind of like the frequency, the vibe, the resonance that is going to kind of carry throughout the entire month. So by studying the energy of the day of the new moon, we can kind of get an idea of the undercurrents and what is going to unfold throughout that whole next lunar cycle until the moon comes back to the same degree as the sun again, and we have another new moon. Okay, so first, I am going to use, look at this Barbie palette by Pure. It has fingerprints all over it, which, I guess it's a sign that I use it all the time. So this is beautiful. I love this palette. I use it all the time. Yes, I'm going to use this, this tan color right here. I really like this color. It reminds me of like a camel color. It looks a lot lighter in this light right here than it actually is. But it's called Role Model. And I'm going to use this as kind of like an all over the eye. I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm going to stay just a little tiny bit under my brow. But I am going to dust this all over my eye. And it's really just like a nice, earthy, like sandy color. And I really like it for a Virgo look. I really like it for a lot of different looks, but a Virgo look for sure. So yeah, that's basically how the new moon works. It's an important time, and that's why a lot of astrologers kind of pay a lot of attention to it, because it determines on an energetic level, like on an electromagnetic level, the frequencies that unfold like kind of a wave throughout the moon cycle until the next one. So, all right, so that's what we know about the new moon. Now let's think about Virgo. So let's take it and think about the new moon in Virgo. And what do we know about Virgo? Well, like I said, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, traditionally. And Mercury also rules Gemini. That's really pretty. I really like that. Mercury also co-rules Gemini. So when I think of, okay, so let's talk about Mercury. So mythologically, Mercury is Hermes, who was the messenger god in the old myths. And on like an electric universe energetic level, we can think about Mercury as like resonating to kind of like the frequency of communication, streamlining things moving quickly, like energy kind of hopping, like jumping really quick, like synapses sort of. It's the fastest moving planet. It represents speed, like I said, things to streamline, making connections, and communicating in all forms. Now, when I think of Mercury, I think of like how it works. I think of it like a spectrum, sort of. And if it's a spectrum, I kind of think of the Mercury, the way that the energy manifests for Gemini is kind of like the first part of the spectrum. Like I think of the Gemini, okay, so I have this on all around my eye, and now I'm going to go into this. I'll pick up about Mercury in a minute. I'm going to go into this Pacifica palette, which I really love. This is the Moonflower palette, and this is their newest shadow palette. And because it's Virgo, and this just happens to be perfect, I really love like all of these shades. But I am going to use in the crease today this shade Athena, this one right here, and it makes me extra happy because it's a Virgo new moon, and the shade is called Athena. And Athena is kind of like the mythological like goddess that sort of represents or kind of like embodies like the whole Virgo vibe, you know, like she's the wisdom goddess, the warrior, and those are kind of like the feminine qualities of Virgo, like the more refined, like wisdom, like the more mature wisdom, the more kind of like ability to like be critical in your thought processes and kind of like get rid of all of, you know, like excess like information or like things that aren't necessary to kind of get to like the core of what's important. And she also is kind of like, you know, like a badass, and Virgo, it creates the most beautifully refined finished products that are really badass. So yeah, I'm really happy that they named this particular shade Athena because I really want to use it today. And it's great for the Virgo new moon. So I'm going to just put this into the crease. Yes, so as I was saying about Mercury, like to me, it's kind of like Mercury in Gemini is like light and like bouncing all over the place and like just communicating from here to there and just like open to all these new ideas and just taking everything in and, you know, sorting through information and making connections. And it's like a very like light, communicative, like fresh, lively aspect of Mercury. Whereas on the other hand, to me, Virgo is like the other end of the spectrum of the Mercury qualities. Like it's very like detail oriented and refined and like, oh, you have socks? Like detail oriented and refined and like sorting through information to like I said, to like get rid of excess, to like refine things down to their purest, most beautiful like version, or to bring things to their fullest potential. Like, and I think that's why Virgo can kind of get the reputation for being critical, because they really
are about sort of like looking for flaws so they can weed them out, but it's about refinement and it's about perfecting. And if you think about it, like, it kind of makes sense generally because Virgo is also the sign that is kind of rules the harvest. And the entire harvest is what? It's about the process of growth to a certain point of abundance, and then, like bringing things to their full potential so that we can reap the benefits of them and, gain abundance. And a lot of people make money during the harvest season by selling what they've cultivated. Cultivation. That's a good word for Virgo too, I feel like. So it kind of all just goes together. Like, the whole thing makes sense. The time of the year, the way that the energy expresses itself, just it all is wonderful. We love it. So that's kind of why I described Virgo how I did earlier. It's kind of because of the way that the ruling planet Mercury expresses its energy, its frequency in that sign. And during the time of year when that energy is dominant, for example, like I said, the harvest, that's kind of what we see manifest in our physical plane because of the resonance and just the way that the whole thing, all the cycles flow. Isn't that beautiful? Athena, you're perfect for Virgo. It's like, it's this brown color, but it really has kind of like cherry undertones, and I love this as a crease color. So now I'm going to go back into this Barbie palette, and I'm going to use this brown color. It's called Vintage. I'm going to use this brown color, a little bit of it, just in this outer corner to kind of like darken it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go over the top with this, stay open, with this, that shimmer color. And it's glittery, and maybe I'll be able to show you so you can see it better in a little while. So now that we kind of have a little handle on the Virgo energies and are kind of understanding how all the themes of, the detail-orientedness and the perfectionism and the earthiness of the sign and the whole money aspect of Virgo kind of all come together. Virgo is kind of like, let's take something in its like raw form, let's grow it up into its full potential, and then let's reap the benefits of the harvest. It's like, and it's like taking something from the beginning up into its best form and then gaining abundance as a result of that. And those are all the themes that kind of play into Virgo, without going too far into it, because I'm trying to keep this video short and do my makeup while I talk about this, which is a new pursuit for me because normally makeup is specifically about focusing on makeup and not trying to do makeup while focusing on astrology. So we're learning. So I'm tapping this Vintage. Well, I'm not tapping it. I'm kind of bringing it just a little bit into the outer corner right here. And I'm just going to kind of blend it up a little bit. Yay. All right, so moving on. We have talked about what a new moon is all about, kind of setting the tone for the month on an energetic level, and also what Virgo kind of resonates to and why. So now let's talk about all of the energy that's in Virgo right now, how it's kind of playing out a little bit. I can't go into too much detail, like I said. Well, I probably could, and I will as I get better at this. This is kind of like my first try at actually doing like the format that I want to do for my channel. Yay. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to blend that out a little bit. So, Virgo right now is like a jam-packed party. Of course, the sun and the moon are there, and they're at 7 degrees of Virgo. And that specific frequency is one that is going to be playing out for the rest of this lunar cycle. So the sun and the moon will be, and now I'm going to go back into this role model color, and I'm just going to go over the lid, and I'm going to kind of blend it into the darker color, and then just blend it up a little bit. So the sun and the moon are going to be at 7 degrees for the new moon, and actually this cycle, right 1 degree off at the time of the new moon is going to be Mars at 8 degrees of Virgo. And so this whole month is going to be energized with a passion, because it's Virgo, to perfect things, to get rid of what's not necessary and doesn't add to a refined version. And depending on where Virgo falls in your particular chart, it's probably going to be about like cleaning out excess, getting rid of stuff that you don't need, and there's probably going to be a lot of motivation and a lot of like passion or action or feeling of garbage trucks. Sorry about that. Or feeling of like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to like urgency maybe, because Mars, the planet of action, the planet of war, the planet of like make it happen, like let's put energy into this, is conjunct the new moon. So with that being in Virgo, the energy of refinement, the energy of harvesting and bringing things to their fullest and best form, we generally, and with Mars conjunct it, there's going to be more energy for that to happen. Trying to bring the best forms into fruition. Yes. Okay, so now I have done the colors that I'm going to do, and I'm just going to go back into this Barbie palette, and this shimmer one right there is what we're going to go with. And I'm going to go just right across the lid with that. Their shimmers are so pretty. And me being a natural makeup channel, 100%, pure cosmetics is right up my alley. I really like what I've gotten from them so far. The Barbie collection is so beautiful and everything goes on so nice. And they also sent me a sculptor palette with my order. That I really use like all the time. Now these glitters do have a little fallout if you don't set your brush with some spray first, which I am not doing because it's Virgo and I don't want like a super high shine on my eyes, but that's also a good thing about not having done my under eye yet, because it won't be messed up. So let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh, yes. We have Mars in a very close conjunction with the new moon. So all of our Virgo energy is going to be inspired, motivated this month. And aside from that, we also have Mercury, which is Virgo's ruling planet, well, the traditional one, and Venus in Virgo. So there's even more energy that is attuned to that refinement frequency. And that's kind of like, to me at least, what the signs are, is they're like basic like energetic tones, kind of like frequencies that things manifest under, like things or people with a strong heavy Virgo influence, or a strong sixth house, which is the house that, or the area of life that resonates to the Virgo frequency, are just going to have like a refined, polished way that they do life, just way about them, because their specific energy body is attuned to that vibe or that frequency of trying to perfect and bring to full potential like everything they do. Like, I know a lot of Virgo women. I follow like their style and stuff. Like, they're just so, it's like I'll watch them, and like everything they do just looks, it's like I'm always like, where do you get the time to like put everything together so perfectly? But it's just like how they do it. And that plays in like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta get back on track with the makeup, because I'll just sit here and start rambling about astrology, and then it will be 3 hours later and nothing will be done. So yeah, I really, really like this. It's more of like, it's like a gold shimmer, but it's in kind of like a darker, like copper-ish type, I don't know, base or something. So it's not like Leo gold. It's for sure Virgo gold. So I'm gonna do, where's my little brush? I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of this underneath, because it's so Virgo-y and so pretty. And it's like the specks of gold, and like, you know, Virgo money, which comes from the cultivation or the refinement that creates the beautiful product. And I love that on this Virgo new moon, I'm going to have these beautiful specks of gold all over my eyes. But not like too flashy, because it's Virgo, it's grounded, it's just going to be really pretty and earthy, but still look like luxurious, you know, because that's what Virgo likes. So I'm done with this, unfortunately. I can never use it enough, but I'm done with this for now. I'm going to do my liner. I'm going to use this Pacifica liquid liner pen that I love. I really like the 100% pure liquid liner too that I tried the other day, but it's a little thicker and not quite as easy for me to control. So for like speed and stuff today, I'm just going to use this. So I have my liner done on this eye, and I'm just going to try to finish up doing this eye. And I want to talk about now what, if you have strong Virgo energy, like for example, if you have your ascendant in Virgo, or, you know, your sun or a moon or a lot of planets in Virgo, I kind of just want to talk about what kind of like scenarios you might type of experience or expect. And I can actually use my own life I can use my own life as kind of like an example because my son, my 6-year-old son, has his ascendant in Virgo. And I see what's going on for him right now. And it's a really good example that I can kind of like extrapolate to any of you others who may have an ascendant in Virgo. And so basically, your ascendant is kind of like the energy that you carry with you, like externally, sort of like how you present to the world. It's like the first house represents kind of like your physical body and like your personal presence. And the ascendant is kind of like what you portray, the image that you project. It might not be who you truly are or who you truly feel you are on the inside, but it's who other people kind of perceive you to be based on your presentation to the world. So now my eye look is done, and I am gonna do my under eye now finally, and then I'll throw on some blush, do some mascara and a lip, and we'll be good to go. So as I was saying, my sun is an ascendant in Virgo, and when planets cross your ascendant or things happen in your first house, because the first house rules like the physical body and kind of like your connection like with life, like in your body, in yourself, in your presence. And just like pat this down. It can be very personal. Like it can be like changes in you as a person, or in things that are like very on the surface of your daily life. I don't like to take it all the way out. I only take it to like probably right there and put down. And now I'm just gonna take this sponge and pat it out. So, for example, my sun is an ascendant in Virgo. He's ascends right in the middle of the sign at 15 degrees or 16 degrees. And right now, everything is moving through his 12th house, which is like if the first house rules like your physical body and your like presence, then the 12th house rules like your more subconscious mind and your connection to your higher self, maybe. Yeah, so the 12th house would be like, maybe like your more subconscious mind and your higher self, the imagination plane, all of that. 12th house also corresponds with Pisces. But right now, my son's getting ready to go into first grade, and we actually homeschool, and we've also been going through a lot of changes in our life, like in our home situation. And so we're going to start school next week after Labor Day. And his whole entire, from that point forward, his whole entire schedule, his whole entire how he does life is about to change. He's going to we joined a co-op, and he's going to meet a whole bunch of new friends. And we've always kind of done life a certain way. Like we've always kind of done bedtime at a certain time. We've done like dinner at a certain time, and because of some other general changes that have been going on, his whole schedule, our whole life schedule that we've had up to this point is kind of like getting a tune-up. And Virgo also kind of rules like scheduling, so that's interesting that this is kind of going on with all of this energy in Virgo, and the way that in all of this energy is really going to affect who he is and how he presents to the world and how he kind of feels about himself and expresses himself. And all of these changes are going to have a direct impact on like his personality, his like personhood. And it's just like kind of ironic to me that I'm watching him like building up as things are going into the 12th house. We've been talking about it. We've been thinking about it. We've been visualizing it and imagining it. And now it's here. And the new moon is going to happen
close to his, it's going to happen in his 12th house, but then all of the planets will move across his ascendant into his first house right around the time when all of this starts kicking off. And he's going to be really busy. Mercury, fast moving things, his sign ruler, and also will be in Virgo, and all of that energy in Virgo in his first house. He's going to have like a completely new schedule, a completely new life pattern and rhythm, and that obviously is going to make him grow and evolve as a person. Okay, I'm just talking. I need to make up. I need my setting powder. This bamboo setting powder. Oh my god. From 100% Pure. I just got it the other day. Completely obsessed. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more of this on. So basically what I'm trying to say is, for those of you that are Virgo ascendants, don't be surprised if you are experiencing over this next month major changes in regards to how you do life, basically, like how your life is set up and who you feel like you are, like who you identify of as yourself. Because, and with Mars there, and again, this is very like clear from what's going on with my son, there's going to be a lot of energy towards these changes, and that absolutely is going to be the case with our lives and for us. And it's also funny because I'm not a Virgo ascendant, I'm a Gemini ascendant, which Mercury also rules Gemini, but that puts me having Virgo in my 4th house. And the 4th house is the house that's associated with the sign of Cancer, and the house that rules the home and things that kind of happen, like the root structure, like things that kind of happen within the home. And it's just so ironic because even though I don't have real Virgo strong energy, Virgo is in my 4th house, and I have been making so many changes in regards to the home. I'm gearing up to start homeschooling, like all of those planets in my 4th house, Venus, Mercury, Mars, the sun and the moon. It's just like, of course, this is the vibe that is carrying me into what I've been planning for so long in the beginning of our homeschool. And not only that, like I said, there's also been a lot of other changes to like our little family structure and dynamic and our living situations and stuff like that. And it's funny to look at my chart and where Virgo falls and my son's chart and his Virgo ascendants and see how it's impacting both of us, but how it's manifesting in our daily lives. Like, it's really cool. And so that's just like a real life example that I can give from personal experience. But generally, hold on, gotta go grab a blush. So for my blush today, in keeping in alignment with the natural feel, I grabbed the wrong blush. I am going to use this Burt's Bees blush with Bamboo in Toasted Cinnamon. It's just like a color like that. So I guess not really a blush, more of like a little bronze, but I don't know, I like this color. I use it all the time. And I've already powdered the bottom of my face and bronzed and everything, like I said earlier. So I'm just going to put some of this blush, and then I'm going to do a little highlight, mascara. I already lined my lips too. So, generally, if you do have an ascendant in Virgo, and especially because Mars is there, you can expect a lot of action-oriented or energized
maybe things going on in regards to your personal life and how you feel like your like daily situation and how you express yourself to the world. You know, you might start expressing yourself to the world more. Like my son is starting a ton of new activities, and he's going to be, like I said, you might be finding yourself in a lot of new activities and being very busy and having a very full schedule, or starting something that you've been waiting on and planning for a while. Might be another way. Okay, now I'm just gonna take this buffer brush and buff these out. And that's so, and because, like I said, because Mars is there, there'll probably be a lot of energy towards it. And because of all the other planets, its ruler Mercury's there, and also Venus. So that's thought processes, communication, and, you know, money. Venus also rules money. So if you're Virgo strong, or if you have a strong, or if you have a Virgo ascendant, then, you know, you might have a lot more information coming at you, or you might have more opportunities that come up for you to make money, or maybe you are, I mean, you're a Virgo. If you have a lot of Virgo energy, maybe whatever you've been working on, it's time for it to come to kind of like a culmination point where you can start reaping the benefits. And maybe that will cause like changes in your daily schedule or in your like interaction with yourself and the world. I don't know. But that's kind of what I would expect for those people, especially who are Virgo ascendants. But if you have your moon in Virgo, you might, like my other son, he has his moon in Virgo. And now that I think about it, he has actually been uncontrollable the past few days. And I didn't even really think about it until now, but I wonder, that's probably why. If you have your moon in Virgo, you, with all of this energy and the new moon in Virgo, you may feel a little out of control emotionally, or like things just aren't going exactly how you need them to go and you can't tolerate it. That's kind of, I mean, he's only 1.5 and he can't really speak, but he knows what he wants. He knows how he wants it, and he knows exactly how he needs to get it. And when I interfere with that, including, you know, maybe him wanting to run to get something out of the middle of the road at rush hour, it doesn't matter. He's not, he is not cool with interference. I'm just getting mascara. Yes. I'm going to use this Fruit Pigmented 100% Pure Green Tea Mascara because I really, really like it. I'm going to put this on and then I'll be back and we can chat more about the moon in Virgo. So yeah, with the moon in Virgo, okay, so my mascara is done now. I used the Green Tea Fruit Pigmented Mascara from 100% Pure, and I really just love this mascara. It works really well. It is super lengthening. It doesn't clump. It builds well. I wish Tati would try this product so I can know how it compares to the new Sally's mascara that she keeps raving about, because I'm definitely not going to be buying this to try it when I have this. Yes. All right. So I need to slap on my highlight and a lip, and then finish getting ready, and I'll be good to go. So today I'm going to use this color Trailblazer. It's a little more copper toned highlighter, just to go with the whole harvest, fall, shiny, but not like super golden vibe, Virgo-y that I'm going for. So right here, hold on, I just have to buff out my nose really quick. Yeah, so when we're talking about Virgo moon right now. There's just a lot of energy piled in there with your moon, and it can kind of just be a little bit of emotionally unsettling. It of course would depend on what house or area of life your moon energy is focused on, but generally with all of those planets, the sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, and that new moon by your moon, if the moon represents our like emotional bodies and thought processes. Oh, you're not stuck. It kind of can just feel a little like overwhelmed. I know last month there were a lot of planets going through Leo, and I have my moon in Leo, and I was just kind of on emotional overload for a while there. It almost felt like almost debilitating at times. And so if you do have your moon in Virgo, that also means you have a tendency towards probably being a little self-critical and, you know, maybe not, yeah. Maybe like having a tendency not to take it very easy on yourself or to be kind of hard on yourself, because that energy is always kind of like seeking to refine things. And if you view yourself through a critical lens, you know, and especially when you have all of these planets kind of piled in there, that can be a lot, and that can be heavy for someone with a Virgo moon. So you may actually kind of want to like look to the opposite sign of Pisces in this case and sort of maybe try to indulge in a little bit of like relaxation, kind of getaway, maybe just some fantasy, maybe like some things like, you know, creative activities, things that take the pressure off you performing, or maybe you like having to be perfect. Okay. And then for those people with the sun or just generally a strong Virgo energy in their chart, you can probably just expect an enhancement of that, especially with Mars there. I mean, if you have your sun and a bunch of planets, a stellium or something in Virgo natally, now all of these planets are in your sign. And so there's just going to be a whole bunch of what you already are helping you, especially with the Mars and the Venus and the Mercury. That's a lot of good energy to like get information, come up with ideas, and to have motivation to create, you know, Venus things of value. Okay, so that is kind of like how I feel about how this new moon in Virgo, all of this Virgo energy might impact you as a Virgo ascendant, moon in Virgo, or as a Virgo stellium, Virgo heavy person. Okay, so now I just need to put the finishing touches on my look. I have all of my makeup on, it's all blended out. I just need to do a lip and then spritz my face and then kind of pat it down with my sponge, and I'll be good to go. I've already lined my lip in this NYX pencil in the shade London. I love this for just like a nude lip liner. I use it all the time. And I'm going to use this Bare Minerals lipstick in the shade Notorious, which is also just kind of like a nice nude, which is what I'm going for the Virgo vibe. But I'm going to try, I just got these little lipsticks the other day from Bare Minerals. Oh, yeah. They're very creamy, but they're also, like, not super opaque. So I'm going to try to prime my lips with this Pacifica priming pencil first, and then lay the color down on and see if it helps the color stay at all. Now, this Pacifica pencil, I actually got 2 of them because I liked it so much. You can use it for anything. I got one for my eyes and one for my lips, but you could use it as like a concealer on your face too. It's actually like, even though it's in pencil form, it's actually really quite creamy the way that it comes out. And like I said, I bought one and then I liked it so much, I went and got another one because they were on sale, and your girl loves a sale. What can I say? Your girl loves a sale. So, yeah, I really like this pencil. Ooh, that looks kind of crazy. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of spread that out. Yep. And now I'm going to put this little lipstick over it, and hopefully that will make the color a little more rich. I don't know, man. I don't know if I like these. I do in theory, and I especially do in packaging, but they're just... I feel like they're just too creamy or something. I don't know. I do kind of like it better over the primer, though. And what are you guys doing? Please stop. But don't worry, because we are not stopping there. I also have a gloss that I want to do today. It's a Burt's Bees gloss, and it's called Solar Eclipse. And it's not a solar eclipse today, but I did wear it for the solar eclipse a couple months ago. AstroBeauty. But I really like, it's kind of like the more like copper gold tone sparkles that I've been going for through this whole look. So we're going to put this on top. And this is actually making my lipstick more of the color I was trying to get. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So pretty. All right. So that's that. I have all my makeup. Let me just... This is what I've been using, this Pacifica Cherry Matte setting spray. I actually just had to get a new bottle because I already went through one. So I'm just going to spray my face all over, and then I'm going to take this here little blending guy, and actually, you know what? First I need to put just a tiny bit of foundation or powder underneath my lash line. Oh, and I made a try-on video with the 100% pure products that I tried for the first time the other day. And I was saying I was concerned that there might be, at the end I was saying I was concerned there might be a little bit of transfer with the mascara, and there wasn't. It just dotted a little bit at first before it was dry. But I went the whole day, and the makeup actually wore really well. I never got an opportunity to come back and do a review of how it wore. But it was, I didn't have to touch it up. I patted my face. I did my makeup at 7 in the morning, and then I think at 4 o'clock I went back over just with a sponge to pat it in. But yeah, it was great, and there wasn't any transfer on that. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and just spray my face, pat it all down, and then I'm going to go finish getting ready, and then I will be back to do a final rundown on my Virgo new moon look and the Virgo new moon vibe that we have for the next month. So here we are. Here is my finished new moon and Virgo look for today. I wanted to stick to kind of earthy harvest, kind of near the end of the summer tones with my outfit. So I have kind of the olivish green and golden cream tones to kind of play up on that vibe, and also, Virgo's association with money. It's my little money dress. And then in terms of my makeup, I really wanted to kind of stay with more of the earth tone, the earth feel, but also add just a little bit of shimmer and stay on the more bronze copper range of things, as opposed to the bright gold. I like to save that more for the Leo time of the month.
But yeah, so that's what I did. I used the Athena color from the Pacifica Moonflower palette, which is absolutely perfect for a new moon in Virgo because we kind of can pay a little reverence to the goddess Athena as we celebrate the Virgo season, and those two are clearly associated. And I used a few shades from my Barbie by Pure palette, which I just love that palette. I also used my bamboo setting powder from 100% Pure, which if you don't know, you gotta ask somebody because that is like where it's at. And I used a little bit of highlight from my Pure Cosmetics sculpting palette and a Burt's Bees, just kind of like tan blush. And I used a Bare Mineral lip color with a little bit of this Burt's Bees gloss over it. And everything has kind of just been in that more like coppery bronze earth tone, a little bit of sparkle. But like I said, I'm going for the more mature, grounded, put together, polished, finesse type look. I didn't have time to do the whole making my hair perfect thing today, so I just threw it up in a neat bun and threw on some gold hoops to kind of bring out that polished finish without too much effort. And yeah, so we have a new moon in Virgo. Mars is there, so it's going to be quite a lively time, as well as Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and the Moon. So there's going to be a lot of that Virgo energy, a lot of energy in terms of trying to refine, polish, perfect things so that we can bring them to their fullest potential and reap an abundance or a reward for our work in cultivating and developing and creating things. That's basically like the kind of vibe that I get, that I'm feeling about this new moon in Virgo throughout the next month until the next moon cycle. And like I said, if you do have your ascendant in Virgo, just be ready for maybe some big changes in the way that you do life generally and the way that it impacts how you interact with other people and the world, and maybe expect kind of an uptick in how busy you are or your activities and your schedules, stuff like that. If you have your moon in Virgo, just hold tight. Try to, not put too much pressure on yourself to be ultra perfect at this time. Try to relax and try to really get into the opposition of Pisces with all of this energy in Virgo affecting your emotional body. Maybe find ways to be creative releases, ways to use your imagination, ways to just relax and have some leisure time. And if you have a stellium or your sun and a lot of planets in Virgo, then at this point in time, everybody's basically just going to be on your vibe. So maybe you could feel like a little overwhelmed with so much energy in your sign, but also depending on the house placement, you might find an enhanced ability, especially with Mars there, to get things done to your liking. And one more thing before I go, I just want to let you guys know, if you do want to get a full rundown of the exact energetic frequencies that you can expect this month, you should definitely check out the Oracle Report YouTube channel. I will put it, or oraclereport.com, and I will put the link in the description box. And the astrology wizard, Oracle herself, gives a good, nice 30-minute rundown of the exact energetics that are in effect and what frequencies you can expect. So tune into that. This is my moon in Virgo. Have a good day, and thank you so much for watching. AstroBeauty out.